Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. And today I want to do a video on why most people stay stuck. And we'll get to that in a moment. But first I want to share a few things with you. Number one, I do have two courses out, and they are entitled Manifest with an Age Gap, and then also Foolproof, Get Your SP Back. So the first one is manifesting whatever it is your heart's desiring with a specific person when there is a huge age difference, and how to control that, because you're the operating power. And you can control what people think and say about that relationship. If they are in saying things that are not in support of what you want, you can control that. Easily change it through your imagination and your inner conversations to what you want them to think and say, and they will have to think and say it. Then the other thing is foolproof, getting your SP back. Why is it foolproof? It is foolproof because the law of assumption works. And if you follow the principles that are in that course on what the law of assumption says, you will get your SP back. That's a certainty. So it'd be cool if you checked out those videos, or if you know someone who could use them and recommend them to them, that'd be great. Those courses are, I know and I intend, will be everything your heart needs to move you into that state of having what your heart desires. Also, then you can coach with me one-on-one. I love coaching. It is my passion. I love it. I enjoy people. I meet so many wonderful people, and I really like helping people work through the law of assumption principles to bring about the desires of their hearts easily, effortlessly, and instantly. Okay, cool. Now, one last thing. There are 2 journals out by Create Your Future. The first one is Daily Manifesting Journal. Very cool. I use it. I love it. My clients have used it. The other one is Create Your Future Mental Diet. Okay, journal. And again, it's so helpful. I've been filling it out and I love it. It is a tool that you can use to keep you on track. And I discovered, because I am a writer and because that's one of the ways I express myself, and you may not be a writer, but nonetheless, it still can be a way for you to express yourself, because you write down your thoughts. And as you see them in front of you, you're able to really, I think it makes it even more, you become a greater conscious creator by writing down your thoughts, looking at them, and immediately you'll say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was thinking that in that perspective. And then you can change that perspective and reverse it and flip it and all those good things. So these 2 books really are tools that you can add to your arsenal of being the most wonderful creator of your reality. That's what you are, the creator of your reality. And they're just things that will help you. So consider those. They are available now. All right, into why most people stay stuck. And you know why? It's not that hard. Number one, intellectually you have an idea, and that's your desire. And when you do that, the desire already exists, so it's already manifested in the quantum field. It's already existing. The second thing is, that's intellectually. And then you have a thought. Well, a thought's going to do what? It's going to create an emotion. So when you connect with that thought that I want this specific thing in my life or person in my life, then that's your intellectual thought. That's the desire that already exists in the quantum field. And now you have that, what comes with that then is because our thoughts create our emotions. That's why we say it's so important to be a conscious creator. What are you thinking? If you're feeling sad, then you know that your thoughts are not in alignment with what it is your heart's desiring. So you have this thought, it's already in existence, it is already. Oh, so now you can feel that, because when you have that thought that I have my SP, that I have that money that I need, or that I have the health I need, then you feel the joy of that. So that's creating the emotion. But what happens is, because we're not seeing it out in the 3D, we have this thought, we have this desire, we think it, and it is, and then we feel it, and it's wonderful. And then something happens in the 3D, or you come back to reality from your imaginal scene, which is a place where you are creating that thing that you want. And you see your 3D is no different, or you wake up in the morning and you're the same old person. You go to bed at night alone, whatever it may be. And you go to bed at night with bills stacked high. And you get caught up in those 3D things. Well, here's the deal. You're stuck because you're conditioned by the 3D. Yes, you've already created it. It exists in the quantum field. Number two, you've had an emotion that feels how wonderful that is through your imagination, through your thoughts. And then you get caught up in what's not showing up in the 3D. Yeah, but it's not here. Well, no, it's not here, because what you're seeing in the 3D is a reflection of your past thoughts. So as you stay in this new desire of what you want intellectually, and feel the feeling of that new desire, because it exists, it does exist, you just can't see it yet. As you stay in that and persist in that, no matter what, you do not let anything get in the way of it. And you ignore the 3D. You put it aside and say, I don't do that anymore. That old story is not me. I am healthy. I am earning the income that I need to support myself. I am with my SP, whatever it may be. And you stay there regardless of what you see in the 3D. If you do that, you're unstuck. It's moving you out of stuck. You're only stuck because you're watching the 3D. Stop watching the 3D. Stop reacting to the 3D. Stop giving it importance. Stop thinking that your SP's words that they're saying to you are real. They're not. It's a hologram. So it's only a reflection of your past thoughts. Your thoughts have changed now. Your thoughts are that, no, that SP is with me and loves me and wants to spend the rest of their lives with me, and they're committed to me and only me. So what you're seeing in 3D isn't truth. What's truth is what you're saying in the moment. And the truth is, the moment, what you're thinking in the moment, if you're having a desire and you're having the feelings that go with that desire, that's the real truth, not the 3D. And we are so conditioned to thinking what's happening in our outer world is the truth, and that we can't get beyond that, so we're stuck. It's not true. The only reason we're stuck is because we think we can't get beyond the outer world. In fact, the outer world is it just poof. It's not real. And you need to see it that way. Is when as soon as it shows up, it just poofs away because it's not real. It's imaginary. I mean, it's just a reflection from your imaginal thoughts in the past. And now you've got new ones, and they're going to show up. And instead of poofing them away, you can keep them and love them and feel them and enjoy them. And at the same time, you're still creating more and more and more of what you want in the now, because your thoughts are always right now creating exactly what you want. You do not need to stay stuck. You're only stuck because you are focused on the 3D. As you see yourself in your imagination, you've got to be that person. You've got to be it intellectually, and you've got to be it emotionally. Remember, thoughts create emotion. Then it's only a period of time until it will manifest. That's the law of assumption. And what happens is, that was Bob Proctor, by the way, a quote that I got from him off of Instagram. So what happens though is we see it intellectually, we get the desire, we have the intellectual desire, and we know that that already exists in the quantum field. And then we feel those feelings that come with that wonderful desire. But then of course, we get caught up in the 3D. We do not let it go. And then we become stuck. You're only stuck because you're looking at the 3D and thinking that's your real reality. You're looking at the 3D and thinking that whatever your SP has done and is saying to you is truth and it's real, and that you have to base your life off of that, but you don't, because that isn't real. It isn't truth. It's just a past thought you had. But now you've changed your thoughts, so you don't have to live with that stuff anymore, because now you are creating new stuff along the line of what it is that you totally want. And that's going to show up. It has to. It has to. And really think about it. You had negative thoughts about, fearful thoughts that your SP was going to leave you or become involved with someone else, or it just wasn't, or silly thoughts like I'm not good enough when you are good enough, or thoughts like, and the people I love always leave me. Well, if you keep thinking that, that's going to keep happening. Change that thought to, the people I love always stay, and they adore me, and they value me, and they expand with me in a loving, committed relationship Or if it's a friendship or a parent or a child, whatever it is, you can adapt it to whatever the situation is and change your thinking to be what you want it to be. So you had an old thought. It's showing up in the 3D. Okay, ignore that. Poof, it's gone. And stay with the new thought that you're having now. And it has to, just like the old one had to show up, this new thought has to show up. It's the way the law of assumption works. So if you don't believe your new thoughts and you're feeling like this is impossible because it's just impossible, it's okay. Because the law of assumption says if you can persist in being that person internally, then it will show up. So internally, in your imagination, you see yourself having your SP. You see yourself having the money you need. You see yourself having the clients you need. You see yourself having the income and the whatever it is you want. You see yourself having it. And that will have to show up. And you don't have to believe it and go into your imaginal things like, oh, I really believe this. This is wonderful. No, you just make the choice that I'm going to go in and I'm going to imagine that this is mine, that I am Mrs. Whomever, if that's what you want, or Mr. Whatever. I'm with my SP. Or imagine I have this health. I have the money. I have the clients. I have the job opportunities that I choose. And you go in and you imagine seeing yourself doing that. It's an easy step. Number one. You get a clear idea of what you want. You know exactly what you want. Number two, you close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. You close your eyes, you get quiet, and you just like go down, let your mind sink down into your heart and see yourself breathing from your heart. And you think about something that you really appreciate, something that you're really grateful for, something that you have compassion for, something that's caring. One of those or all four of those, you think of that and you feel that and you see yourself breathing from that, from your heart. So what you've done is you are in the process of harmonizing your mind with your heart. And as you get there, you start to feel these wonderful feelings of gratitude and appreciation and compassion and caring for something or someone, or someone's caring for you. And there you are vibrating in a beautiful, wonderful thing called heart coherence, where you are feeling and being those things. And out of that, then you focus on whatever your imaginal scene is, where you've decided, what is it I want? Then you focus on that. You see yourself in that thing, whatever it is. Let's assume it's an SP. So you see yourself. If you want to be married to them, that's the easiest one to go with right now. So you want to be married to your SP. So what do? You've used the heart-mind coherence. So now you're harmonized with your mind and your heart, and they're working as one. That makes you very powerful, by the way. And opens you up to really being able to align your frequencies with the thing that you want to manifest. And then you manifest being married to that person after the fact. So it can be on your honeymoon, could be at the wedding reception, it could be a year later at an anniversary, but you're with them, you're committed to them, they're committed to you, you're madly in love, you're totally passionate with one another. It's everything you want. So you create a little imaginal scene, 5 to 7 seconds long, of already being married to that person. And the people congratulating you, or whatever it is you want to see, or you're having an intimate 1-year anniversary dinner together. And they're telling you all the things your heart desires to hear, that how happy and grateful they are that you're their wife or husband, how happy and grateful they are that the two of you are together in a committed, exclusive relationship. Whatever it is you desire, it's yours. You get to choose. It's so wonderful, because you know what? If you had those desires, they exist in the quantum field, which means they exist for you now. So you go into this imaginal scene once you've gotten your heart and your mind all balanced together and harmonized, and imagine that. And you stay with that little 5 to 7 imaginal scene until it starts to feel really real, and you start to feel yourself smiling because you're feeling happy and joyful. And you stay there until it, you just loop it over and over until it feels real. And then it's vivid, okay? Use a lot of vivid colors, or whatever it is, hear it, see it, feel it. Those are the 3 things that are so important that you're going to see it, you're going to hear what's being said around you or to you, and you're going to feel the feelings of what it would be like to be with that person the way you choose to. And you can apply this to your health. I do it all the time. You can apply this to your aging. I do it all the time. You can apply it to interactions with other people in your work. I do it all the time. You can apply it to whatever it is you want, your imagination. You see it, you hear it, and you feel it. 5 to 7 second imaginal scene coming from the end of already having it. Rejoicing over your new health, and you're riding a bicycle when before you couldn't because you had some kind of pain somewhere that was limiting you. But it's all gone now because why? You imagine it being gone. I've done that, and it was the craziest thing because I wanted to ride my bike, but I had issues with breathing, allergies. And every time I rode it, I just felt so uncomfortable. And so I limited myself that I can't ride. It's not true. I started imagining myself riding a bicycle. I didn't even own one at the time. But I wanted to because I was moving to a neighborhood where riding would be perfect. I imagined it, and then I just kind of let it go. I didn't think about it anymore. And that's not saying let it go like you imagine it and then you let it go and you never think of it. That's the trick. No, it's not the trick. The trick is what you let go of is all the negative things that say I'm limited because I have a stuffy nose. No, I'm not limited by anything because in my imaginal scene, that's gone and I'm riding free and the wind is blowing through my hair and it feels absolutely wonderful, and that's where I live from. And then I go about my business, and a couple weeks later when I moved into my new place, and then something happened and I ended up with a bicycle, which was kind of freaky. It just showed up. And then I decided I'm going to ride the thing, and I did. And I was riding down the street, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I'm riding my bicycle. I'm not having issues breathing, and it feels wonderful and it's joyful, and I'm really enjoying this. And then I remembered that was an imaginable scene I had maybe a month before. So it works. And that's something simple and kind of silly, but it was important to me because it was overcoming a physical, what I said in my mind at the time was a physical limitation, but we have the power to overcome all limitations. So you have to see it, you have to hear it, whatever the conversations are, you have to feel it, and you loop it over a couple of times, 5 to 7 imaginal scene until it's real and you feels real and you feel it. And then you get up and go about your day. What else do? You do not get caught up in what's going on in the 3D. That is where we get stuck. Go back to the new story. No, I'm riding my bicycle and I'm breathing perfectly. No, I have my SP and we're married and we're living a beautiful, joyful life together. So you stay in the new story and you let the old story go. That's what's letting go. The old story, the old negative thoughts. Okay, and you do what you don't accept anything else but the new story. Okay, that's how you get unstuck. You stay in the new story and you accept nothing but the new story, and then you're unstuck, and you will start to see everything show up in your life just as you want it to, because imagining does work, inner conversation does work. Staying totally and completely focused on what it is you do want over what you don't want works. You have to change your state of consciousness. We manifest what we are. So internally, be the person you want to be, and that will show up. No matter what the external world is saying, stay with the story of what you want to be. Become that person internally through seeing it, hearing it, and feeling it, and ignoring the 3D. No matter what's there, not accepting that at all, and always coming back to this story. And when you're struggling and having difficulty or spiraling, even though you don't maybe want to at that point, choose to make yourself do this. Go into your imaginal scene again. And if that imaginal scene seems boring, well, you can come up with a new one, just so it's again from the end of having whatever it is you want, and that you already have it. And then relive that in your mind over and over again. And the key is, with imagining and staying unstuck, is to frequently go into your imagination and live out that story that you want from the end of having it. and do that intensely with all the vividness you can, using all your senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, whatever all those are, and be that person. And as you become that person internally, it has to show up externally. It has to materialize, manifest physically. That's the way it works. So you're never stuck unless you choose to be stuck. And the only reason you're stuck is because you had a good idea, and it's a desire that you want intellectually, emotionally. You did feel the feelings of what that would be like, but you stayed over here every time that the 3D showed up, and you allowed it to influence you and have power over you. Take your power back. This is only a reflection of your past thoughts. It doesn't exist in reality. Reality is what you're imagining internally. So whatever your imaginal scene is, that's the new story you stay focused on, and you keep your attention off of the old story, because it will die, fade, and go away if you do that. And the new story, as you give it all of your attention, all your love, all your focus, frequently and with intensity of emotion. And even if you can't get the intensity of the emotion, that's okay. Stay with the new story, because it grows and expands. I mean, the more you think about the old story, doesn't it get more intense and grow more emotionally? Yes, it does. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Well, the same thing happens with the new story. Create the new story of what you do want from the end of having it. If you don't feel it right now, that's okay. Keep seeing it over and over and over. Keep doing it. You will feel the feelings. You got to feel a little bit of it. And then it's going to expand and grow until you really feel it, until you're sitting on the bus riding somewhere, or you're driving in your car, or you're walking down the street, or you're listening to friends chat. And you're feeling inside all wonderful and beautiful, because why? You are living your true reality, your true potential internally. And then you also know, you have the confidence that whatever I am inside of me has to show up outside of me, and it will. And that's the way the law of assumption works. So you're never stuck unless you choose to be, by focusing on the outside world. Stay focused only on the inside world, and everything your heart desires will manifest. That's the law of assumption. So count on that and live from that, and create an imaginal scene that makes you feel wonderful. Blessings. And remember, if you need any coaching or want someone to walk through the particulars of your situation, let me know. I would schedule a coaching session with me, and I would love to work with you. Blessings. Blessings.